Morning traders. So how do we trade the Aussie today? So the weekly at the moment is starting to look like a pretty big rejection bar, and I think the levels that we have here we can pretty much highlight on there, and this was the breakout here, and that breakout retest has been done now. You can see how this one missed it. We just missed it with this bar, and normally when that happens you do have a pullback to come and test this level. It took a couple of weeks, but it did eventually come back and test this breakout. Okay, there are some other minor breakout retests. Every bar basically is a breakout retest, so you've still got these levels to the downside, but I say they are minor because this was a peak. Okay, so this was a high, and there's a low, here's the high, low. Okay, so that's basically a weekly fractional, in other words, and it was retested. Right, so let's just get down to the daily, and the daily is looking very, well, not very, starting to look pretty bullish. We've had a crossover of the oscillators here, which is a good sign, and then we've got our second green bar in a row with some rejection off the bottom. So this rejection bar here to me has been validated now for a potential trend change. Okay, so the trend currently is down. So this from here to here is our current trend, and that is down. So we're looking for this trend to reverse to come to the upside. Where we're going, anyone's guess. We could just do a little retracement to the 200 moving average and then bounce down to come visit these other levels, or we could bounce to the top here, or a 61.8 retracement, or we could even break the upside. So pointless trying to find those directions now, rather trade on what you see on the daily basis. Yeah, so firstly on the 4 hour, we don't want to be on the 6 hour. So on the 4 hour, you can see this is the current trend down. We've had a big engulfing candle. We came back, we tested the 61.8. Okay, as I said to you yesterday, there was an opportunity for a long at the 61.8, and that yielded 1,200 points. And I reckon we're probably going to gap up, which will hit our breakout retest, which is over there, which was the original measured move target. Okay, so let's just get down to the 1 hour and see what it is to trade today. So you can see, firstly, let's just have a look here. Let's just get to the half hour so I can show you two things. So the first thing was the closing range breakout strategy. So the last hour of trading on the Aussie, if you break below, you have a target down below. There's target 2, and the 76.4, the 61.8 was pretty much at that point there, and then you had another level, and I'm just going to do this. So you had two levels here. One was there, this one needs to be tidied up. So those were the two levels, and the 61.8 pretty much fell in this area, and you can see we bounced off there and accelerated away. Okay, now the measured move target obviously is from here to there, and you can see we're just short of it, which is pretty much that retest up there. Now I suppose we can just tidy it up to there. That would be the first area of resistance. Okay, so you can see the open range breakout strategy, the downside played out, and then we reversed and we broke above, and the breakout target to the top was hit. So even if you just played that, you had 344 points either side. So that would have been a 700-point trade of this total move by just playing that breakout. Okay, so the next thing to do is let's just get this breakout in, and then we'll go back to the hour and just look what we're looking for. Okay, so I suspect we're going to get a breakout, a gap up at the moment, and the reason I say that is our good old friend 10 cent is up 2% at the moment, and the rest of the markets are actually green at the moment. So I suspect we're going to have a fairly big gap up, maybe a gap into this level here before maybe a bit of a break, a pullback, but I don't think we're going to get a pullback. I think this momentum is going to now continue and we're going to head to the upside. So I'm looking for longs. So what will happen is we'll gap up. Just watch what happens. If we do get a gap and we just continue running, it's long, and your target's going to be pretty much on the hour. Your first target is going to be obviously the breakout target here. Then the second target will be the underside of the 1 hour 200 moving average. Okay, so there is a bit of a concern with what the oscillators are looking like on the hour. This could potentially roll over and be a pretty big retracement, okay, which is possible as well. You just never know. So we could get another deep retracement here to this breakout level here, but even if that is the case, that would be another area for a long. Okay, so pretty much for me today is trade the closing breakout here. If we gap above, you're looking for this target to start with. If we gap above and we come back, or we get to this area and you find some bearish action, you're going to get a pullback to the gap close. And then you're just going to watch price action to see what happens. On the 12 minutes, you'll see that there's nothing really to write home about at the moment. It's kind of messy. There's not a really well-defined trend up, but it is a trend up nevertheless. Okay, so if you are still long from the bottom here, bully for you, your first target is going to be this area here. And I would take profit at that level, and on some of my contracts, and move my stop loss below this fractional for the other contracts. So I'm not in at the moment, so I got out pretty much on this double top here, which was more than enough for me. Okay, so that's my Aussie view today. Suspect we're long, and I'm looking for longs on the breakout of the closing range, and the targets will be the breakout target, the 161.8 extension, the 261.8 extension. And that is kind of my view on this at the moment. Anyway, guys, hope it helps. Enjoy the day, and I'll catch up with you on Monday. Cheers, man.